Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we have Auto Club for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, and I'm sorry for not having videos out for the last 2 days. An Xbox Live issue happened and then I just couldn't upload yesterday, so unfortunately we missed 2 days of uploads, but we're back now as we look towards Hailie Deegan's race in Auto Club. She did not start good at all. She started P25 and that pretty much set the tone for this race as she just fell back very quickly in this race as the setup in this car was not very good and she could barely turn the car at all, so you're not gonna really see much at all in this race because it was pretty much just a downfall throughout this whole race as she quickly dropped back towards into the 30s. By the time we came to the last lap in this race, she was trying to hang on to a top 30 over Joey Gates, but she couldn't even do that as we came into turns 3 and 4 as she battled alongside, I believe, the 72 on her inside or 76 as they come through turns 3 and 4. She also had damage on the car from hitting the wall, just not being able to turn it. She would come out of the corner, turn 4, and finish P33 in Auto Club, unfortunately, as that was a very rough race for Hailie Deegan, and that would also drop her outside of the playoff grid for now, but hopefully we will have some more speed in this car. The setup was just wrong in this race, and I think it was the preset loose, like it was almost fully loose, but it just would not turn for her, unfortunately, in this race. So 33rd in the race, not good at all, and hopefully we can do better in the Cup race for myself. As you see, she sits P15 now in the point, so about 3 positions outside of a playoff spot, so it's nothing to really be concerned of. But now as we focus on the Cup Series race, last season here I finished P2 in my rookie season at this track, so we're hoping to maybe do something like that again, or maybe get one position better and get our 3rd career win in our 2nd season. And there's the playoff grid for the Xfinity Series again. Hailie Deegan is 18 points out now. But now as we come into Auto Club on our qualifying lap, we made it to the 2nd session in the top 24. Now coming through turns 3 and 4 and the exit of 4, having a pretty decent lap, wasn't great as we come down the front straightaway, going to get on the apron maybe just a little bit here to try and gain some time, but we will qualify P13 with a 38.951.
Hello everyone. Today, NASCAR wraps up its annual West Coast swing with a stop at Auto Club Speedway for the running of the Auto Club 400. Auto Club, located in Fontana, California, is roughly 50 miles due east of Hollywood. The stars of NASCAR are ready to take the stage and tackle this 2-mile D-shaped asphalt oval. Drivers like Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and California native Jimmy Johnson will all try to grab the spotlight with a trip to victory lane. This fast and wide racetrack has multiple grooves, which means lots of passing opportunities. So grab your popcorn. Today should be quite a show.
Alright, we are ready to get going here in Auto Club. Martin Truex Jr. starts on the pole. Eric Jones failed optical scanning station multiple times. He will start in the back. And Martin Truex Jr., like we said, on the pole. Kyle Larson, our teammate, starts P2. And Kevin Harvick had an engine change after qualifying, so he will also be starting in the back of the field with a new engine. So we move up 2 positions to start P11 now in Auto Club as we get ready to take the green flag behind the 34. McDowell surprisingly up this far, and the green flag is out, and we are underway in California as the West Coast swing. As we come through the midway point now as Truex and Larson lead us into turns 1 and 2. Larson on the outside already losing some ground as Chase Elliott pushes the 78 into turns 1 and 2 with the 2 of Keselowski right on the back of Elliott as we come through turns 1 and 2, trying to make it 3 wide already with McDowell, but we back out of the situation as we come out of turn 2. Truex is clear of both lanes for the lead as we come down the back straightaway side by side with Eric Almirola as we go into turn 3. It's just a 14-lap stage here in stage 1 as Elliott, he's trying to move up to 2nd now past our teammate Kyle Larson as we make a 3 wide move to the bottom of McDowell and Hamlin, and we make it work. We move up to P8 behind 7th place of Ryan Blaney as we come through to complete the first lap of the race now as we have a run on the 12, so I immediately jump up to the top trying to see if we can make the top line work early on in this race now as we kind of drop down to the bottom though as the 41 loses some ground, so we get to his inside through the center of the corner on the exit of turn 2 side by side with the 41 down the back straightaway for a brief moment, but we do clear Kurt Busch and get alongside the 12 of Blaney as we come down the back straightaway heading into turn 3. Certainly looking like a bit of a pack race early on in this race, as I did try the top this time, and it worked for the most part until I got really tight and barely touched the wall there. So unfortunately that completely killed my momentum through the corner. But as we came out of turn 4, we didn't really lose anything, but by the time we came to lap 3, you can just see this little pack continued to stay together. Now as Clint Boyer, he's going to be 3 wide as we make it 4 wide on the inside of the 41 of Kurt Busch, as we're going to use that apron just a little bit to try and get ahead, as we're 3 wide on the exit of the corner. Keselowski on the top, Kurt Busch in the middle, and myself on the bottom as our teammate Larson starts to fall down the order down to P4 as he gets passed by the 12 of Ryan Blaney, as Truex leads over Elliott and Blaney into turns 1 and 2. And now on the exit of turn 2, we will clear both the 41 and the 42 of Kurt and Larson as we would move up to P4, but quickly in the next few laps I would end up dropping back, as this is really just a bit of a pack race, so you couldn't really maintain position very well as I fell back to P6, now passing the 2 of Brad Keselowski down the back straightaway at the halfway point, just about in stage 1 as we would come into turn 3. The only driver that's really maintaining position is Martin Truex Jr., who leads this race as we get to the inside of our teammate Kyle Larson on the exit of turn 4. Larson has had a bit of a rough start to the season in his return to Cup racing, and he's still looking to turn it around now, as he had a pretty decent run in the ISM Raceway. Now as we go into turns 1 and 2, trying to make it 3 wide with the 10 in the 42, but I just could not get my nose under them now as we come through the center of the corner on the inside of Larson now, and it was looking pretty good with our speed, was looking pretty good at this point in the race. Clearly maybe a top 5 car, maybe even a car capable of winning, but now as we would come to lap 12 of 14 in stage 1, our teammate Larson would move up a bit. Truex, the leader, fell back as we moved up to P4, as Jimmy Johnson would end up taking over the lead at this point in the race as we hit 2 to go in stage 1. Larson sits P2 right behind the 48 of Johnson and Boyer on my inside now as we go into turns 1 and 2. Almirola in the 10 going to look to my inside through the center of the corner, but we have a run in that middle line, and that allows me to get alongside the 14 of Boyer on the exit of the corner now, as we're going to be coming to the white flag in stage 1. This time by as Almirola sits behind the 14 of his teammate Clint Boyer, as we're gonna let Almirola have the space he needs, and we're gonna drop in just behind now as we look to his outside once again, though a big run through the center of the corner as our teammate Kyle Larson looks into the inside of Jimmy Johnson for the lead as we come to the white flag in stage 1. Across the line, Larson edges out the 48. Larson, like we said, looking to turn his season around after a rough start now, as he currently is on track to win his first stage of the season now as we come through turns 1 and 2 with that run once again through the middle line. Larson is clear for the lead as we exit turn 2. Boyer and Johnson battle side by side down the back straightaway as we battle side by side with Almirola down the back straightaway as we go into turn 3 for the final time. Certainly not in position to win this stage being on the outside, but I do drop down towards the bottom trying to get some ground made up now as we look to the inside of the 48 as we come out of turn 4, trying to make it 4 wide, but I could not do it as Larson, he's going to come through side by side just about with Almirola, but now Larson wins stage 1 and we will finish 4th in the stage after edging out the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, who looked like he was going to win the stage, but Larson was able to hop on an opportunity coming to the white and take the lead and hold on to the stage victory as we would come to pit road and take 4 tires and 2 cans fuel, and I actually decided to take 2 tires, and it turned out to be a bad call as we would get to the lead, but now the other drivers have 4 fresh tires as the green flag is out, and we will lead the field to green at the start of stage 2, and certainly not good for myself because we're likely going to suffer through the middle to long run later stages in stage 2. We're probably going to lose quite a bit of ground now as we come through turns 1 and 2 just ahead of Eric Almirola. Larson on my outside now as we barely just touch that apron, but thankfully no harm done now as we come out of turn 2. Just a bit of a gap between myself and the cars behind me, but they have a big run on the back straightaway, and I'm going to block the inside of Almirola as our teammate Larson, he tries to look to my outside as we go into turns 3 and 4 now as we get right down to that white line as we pull away from the pack actually, as they did not have a good entrance to the corner. And now as we come out of turn 4, we're going to cross the line this time by to lead, I think, our first lap of the season as well now, so at least we got that out of the way. Now we need to try and get our first win of the season and maybe our first pole, hopefully, in the coming races. Now as we're coming through turns 1 and 2, Almirola and Larson once again have run me down, but Almirola is clear for second place over Larson as we come down the back straightaway. He looks right on my back bumper, about a car length behind as we come down the back straightaway. Now about half a car length as he closes the gap, and he looks to my inside as we go into turns 3, and we're going to make contact, and up the track I go, just about into the wall, but we do hang on to the car very sideways through the center of the corner, and Almirola is going to go through the lead. I'm not sure if I came down into him or if he moved up just a little bit, but either way, we banged doors, and obviously I was on the short end of the stick there as we got sideways and almost took down the wall, but fortunately we held on to the car and maintained the 8th position, so we didn't lose too much. Now as Elliott briefly looks to my inside, but we shut the door on him as Larson, our teammate, dropping back big time as we get to the back of the 12 of Ryan Blaney down the back straightaway. And up ahead, they battle 4 wide. Truex, Kurt Busch, Boyer, and Larson. Now Larson gets clear of these cars going into turn 3, so now it's just 3 wide between the 78, 41, and 14. They go way wide as the 78 overshoots the entrance of the corner. We're going to come through to the bottom to work our way back into the top 5, as this has certainly been a bit of a pack race this whole time, and no one wants to get away from each other. As Almirola, he tried to drive away, but it's become to lap 5 in stage 2, running P9. Now as we drop back a bit, Elliott looks to my inside as we run behind 14 of Clint Boyer, and the caution comes out through the midway point of stage 2, and that's going to put us restarting P9 behind the 41 of Kurt Busch as we get ready to go green in Auto Club. I believe it is Almirola still leading as we get ready to go green. The green flag is back out right on the back of the 41 of Kurt Busch. Not a great restart for myself this time, as we do get a little bit better of a launch though past the line now as we close in on the back bumper of the 41, and we're going to give him just a light tap to the bumper now as we head into turns 1 and 2. Almirola, Larson on the front row as we come through the center of the corner, looking to the inside of the 41, trying to gain whatever ground we can, because we know that on this next pit stop I have to take 4 tires and the AI will likely take 2, so certainly we're going to lose positions no matter what at the end of the stage. Now as we go into turn 3, side by side with the 9 of Chase Elliott through the center of the corner. Now they push up the track once again, allowing me to the inside of the 41 and 14 as we exit turn 4. And as we come out of turn 4, Kurt Busch is trying to clear the 14 as we side draft the 41 now across the line. It is 4 laps to go at this point in stage 2 as we try to take 7th place away from the 41 of Kurt Busch. Now as we look into turns 1, still on his inside, a bit better of a center of the corner, actually a way better center of the corner, as we would clear the 41 on the exit of turn 2, getting up to the 7th position behind the 78 of Truex as we look to his inside, trying to get up to 6th place as we went into turn 3 as Almirola continued to lead, but the 48 looks to his inside, and Jimmy Johnson would try to take the lead as we close right up on this pack. Now in a good position once again at this point late in the stage, setting ourselves up with an opportunity to maybe win a stage now as we look to the inside of Almirola, coming to the white flag at this point now in the stage. Blaney and Johnson battle side by side. Jimmy Johnson was going to win stage 1 until he gave it away to Larson, and it's looking like he's going to do the same thing to Ryan Blaney now as we come across the line. This time by it'll be the white flag in stage 2 as we close in on the back of these two, as Blaney, he gets cleared by the 48 going into turns 1. So Johnson looking in command as we come through turns 1 and 2 for the final time in stage 2. Now with a run on the outside of the 12 as we come down through the exit of turn 2, down the back straightaway, trying to get that draft from the 48 now on the outside of Ryan Blaney, down the back straightaway for the final time in the stage. And as we come into turn 3, edging out the 12 now, and he comes up through in front of me, and we hit him in the back bumper, and sideways he goes, and we hit him again. And around the 12 of Ryan Blaney goes, as that's probably going to end the stage, as it does indeed end the stage as the caution comes out. And I'm not sure if that was my fault. On my end, it was pretty clear that the 12 shot up the track in front of me, and I hit him the first time, and I could have gotten out of the throttle, but I was already sliding, and I just drove right back into him, unfortunately, and turned him around. So let me you guys know in the comments if you think that was my fault. But unfortunately, we had to take 4 tires and repair the car, which dropped us 22 positions to start stage 3 down in P25 as the green flag is back out, and we are underway once again for the final stage in Auto Club. And hopefully we didn't make Ryan Blaney too angry with that spin at the end of stage 2. I really don't know who was at fault in that situation, but hopefully we can rally back into the top 10 as that is our goal position. But certainly this is not looking as good as our race at this point last season was, as we finished 2nd here last season. Now as we make a little bit of contact with the car on my outside as we come down the back straightaway, trying to make up as much ground as we can. We have 18 laps in the final stage which gives me certainly a good amount of time to get at least into the top 10. So I think we do have enough time to get the goal position now as we come through turns 3 and 4 side by side now on the exit of the corner with the 43 of Bubba Wallace, and I believe Paul Menard on his outside has become 3 wide across the line with the 43 of Bubba Wallace on the inside, trying to get ahead of these two as we go into turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Johnson continues to lead as he did obviously win stage 2, so he got a playoff point as we come through the center of the corner on the exit of turn 2. We will clear the 43 of Bubba Wallace as our teammate Kyle Larson looks on the back of the 48 of Jimmy Johnson as he's trying to set himself up well to get his second win at this racetrack after winning here also in 2017. As we come into turns 3 and 4 though, working our way back into the top 20, making it 4 wide with Hamlin, Stenhouse, and Jones as we exit the corner, gaining a bunch of positions to move up to P16 as we come through the front straightaway across the line now with just 16 laps to go in this race as Keselowski sits just in front of me in P15. Not a very good day for him so far now as AJ Allmendinger is right on the back bumper of 13th place, so Joey Logano, and we're going to go to the outside trying to make it work now through turns 1 and 2, and it does work pretty well as we come out of the corner, clearing the 2 down the back straightaway, so we gain another spot to work our way into the top 15, and by the time we came to lap 37, we would get up to 13th now, battling with the 12 of Blaney, obviously the guy we spun out at the end of stage 2, and certainly hope that he's not too close to being a rival after this race now as we come into turns 1 and 2 right behind him. Certainly got to leave him a little bit of room. We don't want to mess with him now as we almost get into the back of the 3, and thankfully we do not now as we come out of the exit of turn 2, clearing Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney down the back straightaway to work our way back up into P11 behind 10th place of William Byron. And we have finished in the top 10 every race this season, so we look to continue that now as we do move into the top 10 behind Kyle Larson, our teammate, who has drifted down the order now as we exit turn 4, coming down the front straightaway to cross the line. It is 12 laps to go at this point in the race, sitting P10, and by the time we came to lap 43, still battling it out for the 10th position with Kevin Harvick now as we come into turns 3 and 4, and I just could not really go anywhere from 10th place as we had a chance to look to our inside of our teammate now as we make contact with the back of the 42 and get sideways, but fortunately we hang on to the car and basically lose no ground at all as we still sit behind the 4 of Kevin Harvick, blocking the 24 of William Byron now as I did not want him to get to my inside or get past me as he does look to my inside, and I could not block that move as we come through turns 1 and 2 through the center of the corner. Now on the exit, trying to get this draft back from these cars ahead to get back into this group of cars to be a part of this situation now as we come to 3 laps to go in this race, still battling it out with Harvick and them now as we did get up to P9 behind 8th place of William Byron, but at this point the tires were certainly starting to go on the car now as Harvick looks to my inside. Elliott, he's back in 11th place now as we come down the back straightaway. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by, and we have battled with Kevin Harvick at the end of a race here in the past. Obviously last season we battled with Harvick and Truex at the end of the race. Harvick blew a right front tire on the last lap and moved me up to second as he took Truex and himself into the wall now as we battle side by side once again, coming across the line. 2 laps remain in Auto Club now as we head down into turns 1. Harvick not wanting to give up on this battle as he follows in line behind me now as he goes up the track through the center of the corner, allowing me to put a bit of a gap between himself and I now as we come out of turn 2. Down the back straightaway, he will get that draft and start to close the gap a little bit, but obviously we're going to need a caution at this point if we want to be a part of that group up ahead as we lost them, unfortunately, and it's almost felt like a Talladega or Daytona. As soon as we lost the draft from this pack ahead, we just fell back very fast now as we have a bit of a gap between myself and the 4, but on the exit of the corner, he will close that gap back up as Boyer now falls down to P8 in front of me as we cross the line. The white flag is in the air. We come around this track for the final time in Auto Club as we head into turns 1 and 2. Harvick trying to run me down with the little time that is left in this race as we come through the center of the corner. Truex and Elliott behind me battle side by side for 11th place as we come out of turn 2 down the back straightaway for the final time, looking like we're in good position to hang on to 9th as Harvick does have a run down the back straightaway going into turn 3, but I don't think it's going to be enough as we come through the entrance and center of the corner on the exit of turn 4. Kyle Busch leads this race as we exit turn 4 for the final time. Down the front straightaway, Kyle Busch is going to win in Auto Club, and we are going to come across the line to hold off Kevin Harvick for the 9th position as myself and Harvick continue our top 10 streaks. Obviously, me and Harvick right now looking like the fastest cars. Obviously, we didn't show it today in this race as Kurt Busch got 2nd and Almirola got 3rd to round out the podium. Now, as 40th place was Corey LaJoie, 3 laps down, so he must have DNF'd from the race. But good day for the 24 of William Byron as he looks to turn his season around as well now, as we still sit second in the point standings behind Kevin Harvick, 5 points behind him for the lead. So we're looking very strong in this early start to the season, and we just need to maintain and continue our performance for the rest of the season. Hopefully we can do that now, as once again that was a great race for myself. And next episode we will have Martinsville, just no Xfinity race, so it'll just be a lonesome Cup race as we look at the playoff standings now in the Cup Series. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be incredibly appreciated. And thank you for watching, everyone. It really means a lot there. And now, as you see, Larson now is the last car in the playoffs. So we have both Ganassi cars in the playoffs, which is looking good. So we'll see if we can continue that as we look into the next episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody, and see you guys in Martinsville.